Hello everyone and welcome back to Townsfolk Tussle, the start of our third game, and we are just going to jump straight in. So if you want to get caught up on the rules and whatnot, ideally watch the first playthrough, which is a little slower paced. But without further ado, we're going to jump in and show the characters being played, and we're going to take on the final 4 ruffians that we haven't seen yet. So there's only one playable character that we haven't seen yet, and that's the Blopsy twins. So that's who's on your left over here, and we'll be seeing them. They can take some hits to their stats during a fight to see the ruffian's next action, and they can buy anything classed as an instrument from the peddler for 5 coins, which is a pretty nice little passive. Then I brought back 2 characters I enjoyed. Quintus Binch, the little boy who can teleport, and he can steal stuff from the shop at the start of every shop phase. And then Henlo Bulwark, who's a little bit of a healer, doesn't die the first time she would normally die, and pretty good movement but low moxie. So that's the team we're using, and we're going to go straight into it by drawing 3 feats of metal for each of them, starting with the Blopsy twins. If the ruffian collides with you, okay, that's likely to happen at some point. Bite the bullet if you're involved in a tie for targeting and you're chosen. And then finally, Shameless, complete a fight without chest or leg gear equipped. They don't start with either. Oh yeah, that's something I didn't say what the Blopsy twins start with. They have a shiv, a boastful blowhorn, which lets teammates adjacent to them do +1 damage, and then a crystal ball, which is the thing that lets them take a hit to their stats. Quintus, his 3. Trained to Sprinter, 6+ in a single turn. He ain't doing that at the start of the game. Magician, have the townsfolk removed from the board without being knocked out. He could do that if he hides in the hay, or maybe technically if he uses his stolen candy. Even though you get placed back immediately, you do still get taken off the table. I'm not sure. We'll worry about that one if it happens. An eye for loot, gain a piece of gear from a train piece. Okay. And then 3 for Henlo. Budget shopper. Buy a bit of gear worth 4 or less. Going to be hard to do that with Quintus because he steals them all. One fella army. 3+ damage to a ruffian in a single turn. More than one weapon, to be fair. It's worth 2 points. She's not really a damage dealer though. Eagle-eyed. End a town's phase with 1 accuracy or higher. She starts at a -1, so it's probably going to be pretty difficult. So then we have town events, starting with the Blopsy twins. Enhanced weaponry. You plunge your weapon deep into the foul outhouse. Oh, good grief. That's poison damage, baby. That's what it says. Place this event underneath one of your weapons. Next time you deal damage to a ruffian with this weapon, they're overcome with disease. Shuffle this card into their action deck. Whenever it is drawn, the ruffian takes 2 damage. This card is placed in the action discard pile, then draw the next action. Cool. So the Traveller's Shiv for the Blopsy twins, I'll just put it in front of their card there, is now poisoned. So they'll put that into the ruffian's deck. That's pretty neat. Quintus Binch's town event. Calm and calculated. There's something not right with that boy. Considering your world is both physically and mentally burning down around you, you're managing to stay quite composed. Oh, it's the "this is fine" meme using Georgie Irongut in the picture for the card. You decide to survey the landscape ahead and take things off your mind. Keep this card in front of you for the next fight. Add +2 to your terrain rolls. Also very good. Town event for Henlo Bulwark. The Travelling Salesman. A tall man with a curly mustache rolls towards you with an ox-drawn cart. Safe, fella. You look like you could use some gear. Have I got just the thing for you? You have to roll and add your moxie, which for her is 2. That's a 7, so that's a 9. Reveal the top card of the peddler deck. You may purchase it immediately for 5 coins or less. For 5 coins less. If not, put it on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Oops, dropped the card, but still. Butterfly Nectar. Costs 8 normally. You lose 1 max HP. Oh, it's a Healy. No. We're going to put that on the bottom of the deck. You lose 1 max HP, which is terrible on its own. But then you have to spend 2 moxie and it only heals 1. No, not worth it. Alright. On to the shopping. So here's what our shop looks like, and of course Quintus gets to steal something worth 5 or less. There's only one thing that is in that category, and that is Founder's Rubble, which is a bit too shiny. There we go. 1 moxie, 6+ accuracy for 1 damage. You discard Founder's Rubble, you send the odd looking debris flying, deal 1 damage to the ruffian, and roll on the crit chart. So you can get rid of it permanently to do 1 guaranteed crit, or you can just use it as a melee weapon and it's classed as a dagger. So he'll equip that in his offhand, because he only has the rubber bat equipped for now, so good enough. And then we start the shopping proper, and there is something called Bubba's Washboard, which normally costs 11, but it is classed as an instrument. So the Blopsy twins are going to buy it, for 5. +1 max HP, and once per fight they can ignore all damage received or for an adjacent teammate. So they're going to buy that, they're going to equip it, puts them at 5 HP, and again, because of their, it's called Performer role, they get it for 5. So they have 5 cents left, which they'll probably just hold on to, which I'll put on the card in a second. As for the other two, not sure. What could Quintus Binch use? He could use more Moxie, but so could Henlo. Sadly, like, Belt of Knives in the shop is really, really good, but it's way too expensive. They could just hoard their cash, I suppose. The Gaudy Hat gives accuracy, not enough to make Henlo score her, have +1 accuracy for the fight. It's also slightly too expensive. You know what they could do? They could all chip in too to refresh the shop. Because I don't like the look of anything else here. Yeah, they're going to do that. Give me a second to repopulate the shop. So there's the shop resupply. Blopsy Twins now only have 3 coins left, so they're doing nothing obviously, but Henlo and Quintus have 8. So there's a couple of items that would be good for Henlo. But if specifically she buys Impy's Potion for 3, that would score her budget shopper, and she could take 1 movement extra for the fight, which I think will do. I don't even know what this does. Consume it, discard Impy's Potion, the next time you deal damage this turn, restore that much HP. Oh, that's pretty neat. So that cost her 3, she'll bank 5 for the next shopping phase, I think. That scores that, and she gets +1 movement, so she's up to 6 movement, which is pretty good. We'll just flip that over because it's been achieved. It's not worth any points, sadly, but that's okay. And then Quintus, I think he's going to buy the Exploding Cigar, even though he can't really equip it right now because he's got an accessory equipped. And we'll equip it to someone later thanks to our shared inventory. So it's going to take everything he has left. It's +1 Moxie as an accessory slot. If you're forced to remove a bit of gear by the Ruffian, you can choose to discard this instead, and if you do, the Ruffian takes 3 damage. That's pretty decent. Alright, let's see who we're going to fight. Alright, so our chump of the final 4 Ruffians we've got to see is the Bundits, which I think is just like a bunch of little like critters that live under a sheet. Let's find their card. Where are they? There they are. The Endless Horde is their title. Yeah, it's just like a bunch of weird looking things underneath a blanket. So because they're a chump, what does it say here? Oh, actually they do have a chump rule. Begin the fight with the scatter action card in play. Okay, once I look out their AI, I'll have to do that then. I'm not sure what that means. They have 15 HP, 6 health, and I'll be back in a second with a fairly busy looking map set up. So we're all set up for the fight, and as stated, the scatter card needs to just stay in play. So here's what it says. There's a lot of text. Keep this card in front of the townsfolk. Whenever another action deals damage to a townsfolk, create a bundle terrain piece adjacent to that townsfolk. A maximum of 6 can be on the board at one time. Do not place more once the limit is reached. They look like that picture there, and I have them to the side here. A bundle is considered a feature for ruffians, but an obstacle for townsfolk and other bundles. If a townsfolk ends their turn adjacent to at least one of them, they take 1 damage. Townsfolk can attack bundles, and if they successfully deal any damage, you remove them from the board. So that's just something else to remember. This is where the main cluster of Bundits is, and we're going to jump straight into their first turn. So there must be hundreds, it's the Bundits. Doesn't quite work. Tiny Thieves. You've been pickpocketed. All townsfolk within 3 squares of the Bundits or a bundle terrain piece. 1, 2, 3. No one! They would have stolen my accessories, which would have been terrible. Then the Bundits move towards the farthest townsfolk. They're all 4 squares away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all 5 squares away. So I guess I get to choose, and the Blopsy Twins are going first, so I'm going to choose that they went over here. Alright, that's good. So now that I know they steal accessories, I kind of want to use them early. The Blopsy Twins will activate. They're going to poison them. They're going to use that shiv they've got and stab. They're just going to stab. And they are a base -1, unfortunately, so this is a 6+. They got it though, so they deal 1 damage, and more importantly, that means this poison card comes into effect. So let's just double check how you do this. You shuffle it into their action deck, and whenever it's drawn, deal 2 damage. Now that's a bit weird because I know where it's going to be in the action deck, obviously, because the backs look totally different. But I guess I'll look away and shuffle a little bit, and we'll just we'll run with it wherever it ends up. I'm looking away, shuffle, 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 and we'll go like that. I have no idea where it is in the deck. So the bandits are poisoned, and I've attacked with my 1 weapon. Blopsy twins are then going to move. Actually, no, I think they're going to stay. Yeah, they're going to stay because if Quintus moves next to them, their boasting blowhorn makes him do +1 damage. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, okay, we'll move on. Henlo is next, unfortunately. Quintus is last. So Henlo will go 1, 2, 3. She's got 6 movement. 4, 5. She's got +1 rolls to cornfield and haystack only. I feel like I should let Quintus investigate the house because he's got the cam calculated. So there's a very good chance of him getting the gunshot. So actually, let's see, Henlo started there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, she'll just attack in the back with her haysicle, her wheat sickle on a 5+ normally, but she's got a -1 as well, so it's a 6. She got a 6. Fair enough. 1 damage and she's done. So Quintus, if he does 1 damage, he's triggering a breakpoint. That's the problem, but he can hit them really hard. If he's next to the Blopsy twins, he could do 2 damage. If he runs over to the house, he could potentially do, he would need an 8+, but he's getting a +3 modifier? No, +2, so he would need a 6+. On D10. Let's do that, because if he misses, the Blopsy twins can trigger the breakpoint instead. He's got 5 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is exactly enough. He's going to knock on the door. So it's a 2, but it becomes a 4, which would have been healing him for 2 health, but then the farm can no longer be used. For doing that though, doesn't he get a thing? Let me just check his... Nope, if he'd gained a bit of gear, he would have. So that's his turn, and then we're back round to the bandits. Here is their card. The Old Swapperoo. Bandits surround you, ripping the weapons from your hands and tossing them around. Target the 2 closest townsfolk, that's Henlo and the Blopsy twins. The bandits grab the target's weapons and toss them around. How aggravating. The 2 targets exchange all weapons if possible, then a target of their choice gains +1 moxie for the fight. The target may equip their new gear immediately. They're literally identical actually. Oh wait, no they're not. The wheat sickle costs less moxie, but other than that their stats are the same, so that's not too bad honestly. Especially because the poison effect of the Traveller's Shiv has been used up, and I'll give the extra moxie to Henlo then. That seems fine. Do any of them get damaged? The targets swap back the exchange gear at the end of the fight phase if possible. Play the next card in the action deck. Okay, so they're forced to swap back at the end of a turn. Didn't deal any damage though, so that's why it tells you to draw another card. Bumbling obstructions, target none. Move each bumble terrain piece 1 square towards the townsfolk closest to them, then if anyone is adjacent, deal 1 damage. Then the bandits move towards the farthest townsfolk. So that would be them right next to Quintus. But there's no, he hasn't hit me yet, so there's none of the bumbles. Not bumbles, sorry, that's the Binding of Isaac. Bandits. Oh, the next card they're going to draw though is the poison card, so I know damage is coming to them, so that's good. Alright, so it's over to my team, starting with the Blopsy twins. They're just going to move, and they're going to use Henlo's wheat sickle on a 6+. They got him. Now unfortunately, that triggers a breakpoint. But, it's the poison. So that just goes into the discard pile. He takes 2 more damage, and then you draw the next card. So this is still his breakout attack. Helter Skelter. Target none. Move all townsfolk 2 squares towards the bandits. They're already close. Then move each bundle terrain piece 2 squares. There's none yet, because he hasn't damaged me yet. Play the next card in the action deck. Well, if they cycle their own deck, that just means the poison's going to proc more often, so I'm fine with that. Latch on. Target the closest townsfolk. I'm going to get to choose then. If the target is within 4 squares, they take 2 damage. Oh, that's pretty nasty. And then move the bandits towards the farthest townsfolk. After effect, the targets roll. Alright, I think the Blopsy twins have a thing where they want to be targeted, don't they? If you're involved in a tie for targeting and you are chosen. Yeah, we'll do this. So we're going to bite the bullet and say the Blopsy twins have been targeted and they're going to do 1 more damage to the ruffian, bringing him down to 9 health already. Or them, I guess. Since there's just a bundle of them under a sheet. He does take 2 damage though, which is pretty nasty. He's down to 3. And then you have to roll and see what happens. A crit, 5+. The target slips free of the bundle's grasp. However, because he did take damage, we're going to have to place an adjacent bundle behind him there. Now he's already had his turn, so I don't know if the 1 damage from a bundle being next to him kicks in or not. I'm not sure, because it spawned in on something that wasn't his action. I don't know, because he's already completed his action fully. We'll say for now it's fine. It wouldn't kill him anyway. It would leave him on 2 health. It's Henlo's turn. She's got 3 Moxie. She needs 2 of it to attack with. Her heal is 2 as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's a shame. Well, she'll just attack. So this is a 6+. It's an 8. Puts him down to 8. And then she will move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She'll come down here. Actually, you know what? She'll come down here and then spend the last Moxie she's got to interact with the fence. You can just see at the bottom of the screen there. 2. That's not enough for her to jump over it. Oh well, never mind. I was trying to get her to safety. Oh, she was +1. She was next to the Blopsy twins, so she dealt +1 damage. Oh, that means she couldn't have moved because she triggered another breakout point. Or breakaway point, whatever you call it. Either way, she couldn't move, so never mind. She did 1 extra damage and triggered a reaction again. We're killing it really quick. Unchecked growth. The bandits become uncontrollable if their numbers grow too high. If there's 3+ bundle terrain pieces on the board, everyone takes 1 damage. Nope. Move the bandit towards the furthest townsfolk. Nope, we're all adjacent. We're stuck in this scrum. So then Quintus gets to go. And I don't really need to, I was considering wasting the Founder's Rubble to chuck it for a lot of damage. I don't think we need to worry. I think we're killing this pretty easily. So what he could do is kill the bandit behind the Blopsy twins, if he wanted to. How much Moxie does he need? He needs only 1 Moxie for each. He can use both weapons. But if he goes next to them and misses with his other weapon, he'll use the Founder's Rubble on the bandits, not chucking it, just attacking normally, so it's a 6+. He missed. Then he's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's going to use his rubber bat, because they're both 1 Moxie to use, on the bandits, which is a 5+, and he's got base accuracy. So that bandit has been splatted in the head with a bat. So we are back round to the bandits again. Tower of Bandits. Target none. Bundle leaps onto a townsfolk from their elevated position. Ranged attack. Deal 1 damage to all townsfolk within 4 squares. That is everybody. Then move the bandits towards the farthest townsfolk. So he would end up, they're moving 6. 1, 2, 3. He'd move there, but hang on, I need to check something here. So is this every time someone's injured? Let's see. Whenever an action deals damage to a townsfolk. Yeah, they all have a bundle next to them. Wow, that's nasty. So let's put 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And they all took 1 damage. Very, very nasty. So Henlo's down to 2, Quintus is down to 3, and the Blopsy twins are down to 2. Maybe it's not going to be as easy as I thought it was. That was their turn though, so we're back round to the Blopsy twins. Oh, and they should have swapped back weapons at the end of the turn. At the end of the round, I should say. Now I've got to remember the Blopsy twins can ignore all damage once per fight, for themselves or someone adjacent. It's only if they end their actions next to a bandit that they'll take damage, so let's attack. Not good enough. Let's move away then and go 1. Well, we can move through our own teammates, we just can't move through the ruffian. 1, 2. Let's move beside Quintus to make him do +1 damage. And she's not. The Blopsy twins aren't adjacent to any bandits, so they're fine. Henlo. Should she heal? She should probably heal. Yeah, let's heal. She's going to walk through her teammates, stop over. It's a bit awkward, we're going to have to turn her around. She'll use her 2 Moxie to do, what's it called? Pinched Provisions, to heal the Blopsy twins for 1 damage. And then Quintus gets to go. He has enough Moxie to attack with both his weapons. He'll start with the bat. It's a crit, and it does +1 damage because the Blopsy twins are next to him. 1, 2, puts him at 5, and then the crit result. The 5 on the crit is... you crush the ruffian's walkie bits. Lower the ruffian's movement by 1. So we're down to 5, and then he's going to spend his other Moxie. Oh wait, yeah, he can still move afterwards. To use the Founder's Rubble. He critted twice in a row! Unfortunately that reaches a breaking point, but you still get to see the crit result. A 7 on the crit table is... you're invigorated by your hefty hit. Increase your movement, Moxie or accuracy by 1 for the fight. He will increase his accuracy. But unfortunately he's triggered a breakout point, so... it's going to be 2 turns in a row. Pile on. Townsfolk with the most owned gear. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yep, it's the Blopsy twins. Move towards the target if he reaches them. He's there. Deal 1 damage. So that's 1 damage to the Blopsy twins. After effect, the target may discard 1 piece of owned gear. If they do not, they rip and tear at the target, dealing 1 additional damage. He'll take the 1 additional damage because I can still ignore damage with him once, and I think I'm going to kill them this turn because there's no more breakaway points. They do get another action though before I get a turn, so it's all down to this really. Soil Slip. The farthest townsfolk, Henlo, by 1 square. Pull the target 10 squares towards the bandits. 10 squares, wow. If they're adjacent, take 1 damage. Yep. She is definitely adjacent. She is on 1 health. But that's okay, because I think we're going to end it right now with this turn. The Blopsy twins are going to crack out that shiv. Oh, I totally forgot to move. Oh wait, or no, I couldn't move Quintus, could I? Because he triggered a breakout point, so he should have taken 1 damage from the twin there. 6 is good enough with the -1 they have, so that's 1 damage. They have 3 health remaining, and he's going to stay there, or rather they're going to stay there because they're conjoined, to give a buff to the other 2. Actually, there's nowhere he can move to give them both it. Quintus has the best chance to attack, so they're going to stay there. On that note, Henlo's turn. She'll just try and attack with the sickle. If she misses, whatever. She actually critted as well. 2 health remaining. Crit result. 2 is... your hit leaves the ruffian flustered. Their anger makes them predictable. Reveal their next action. Their next action, although I don't think it's going to matter, is Flurry of Carrots. Okie dokie. And now let's finish this. Quintus with the bat. Good enough, thanks to the Blopsy twins being there. It deals 2 damage. The Bundits are Dundits. They are dead. So, who achieved the most feats that fight? Henlo, right? Because the other one was done in the shopping phase, wasn't it? Oh no, sorry, vice versa. The Blopsy twins. Okay, I'll need to look out the Bundits boss gear then. Alright, looked out the first boss gear, and again, Henlo is the one that's going to get one of these. Let's go for this one. Bundit's Cloak, chest gear. +1 Moxie, and then you can spend 1 Moxie to swap positions with a townsfolk within 5. Honestly, the +1 Moxie alone makes that super useful for her. So she's got that, and she's +1 base Moxie now, which puts her at 3 because she's going to lose that buff she had. And everyone gains 6 coins from the ruffian's purse, and we'll go back to the town event, and I'll be dumping some of those feats that have no chance of scoring. That was a pretty smooth fight. So we're back round to town phase 2. I got rid of 2 feats for the, well, they achieved 1, but I got rid of 1 other one for the Blopsy twins, so they need 2 new feats drawn. Engineer, interact with 2 different terrain pieces. Not even in the same turn, just in general. Doable. Then we have a Masochist. Take damage from a terrain piece willingly or unwillingly. For another Moxie. Okay, that's interesting. Quintus needs 2 more. I dumped 2 of his. Hard Times. End the town phase with the least coins. Can't be a tie. Oh, okay. We can make that work. That would actually synergize really well with the trained sprinter feat that I kept on him. for moving 6+ in a single turn. Untouchable, complete a fight at your max HP. It doesn't say you can't go below it, you just have to end the fight at your max HP. Still hard though. And then Henlo needs 3 new ones. Out with the old, complete a fight with none of your starting gear equipped the entire time. If we buy her a weapon, no, we needs a weapon and leg gear, probably not going to happen. Dodge the bullet. If you're involved in a tie for targeting, you're not the chosen character. Easily doable when playing solo. Picky Patron. If the peddler's shop is reset, achieve this. Where were you in the first shop phase? Fine. Town events. Blopsy Twins. Aerial theft. What is this? It's a very evil looking bird. My purse, yells a nearby woman pointing upwards. A tiny bird overhead is wearing a robber mask and clutching a handbag in his hand. Look at this picture. That's great. Weapon with +4 range owned. Absolutely not. I have no ranged weapons. You hang your head in shame, unable to help the woman. The reward only would have been 4 coins. You know. Quintuses. Keeping your eyes sharp. The team finds a freshly decapitated head near the peddler's cart. Within a couple of minutes, you've got it hanging from the side of a barn, darts in hand. Let's see who has the most skillful... This is disgusting. Each Townsfolk puts down 1 coin, then rolls. The highest roller wins the game and earns the coins. The lowest roller, however, completely misses the target and nails the peddler in the back of the head. She's furious. In this town phase, it costs +2 to buy anything from her. Okay. So, rolls plus accuracy. Blopsy Twins. It is a crit. But it's -1 actually, so it's 9. That is a 7 from Quintus. And it's a crit from Henlo, who's also a 9, so I guess they roll off again because they're even. Blopsy Twins got a crit again. What on earth? Okay, so Blopsy Twins win, so they get 2 coins from these two. And Quintus, he has to pay an additional 2 coins for any gear he buys, but that's okay because he's going to steal something. I was about to move on to the town phase, but I totally forgot we were still due a 3rd town event. We only did 2 of them, so we need one for Henlo. Apologies for that. Meticulous looting. I know someone like this. If this is the first town phase, ignore this card. Nope. While your teammates are resting, you take some time to thoroughly search one of these dead ruffians. There's got to be something else useful in this pile of bones, right? You spend the entire day picking through these guts if necessary. You may select any defeated ruffian and take a piece of their remaining ruffian gear at random. If you do, lose 1 movement in Moxie for the next fight. Can I see that? Am I allowed to check the choices? I'm going to presume I can check the choices. Leashed bundle and peddler's cart key. You can steal 3 items with the key. 2 Moxie, 4+ accuracy, 2 damage. It's a 2-handed weapon though. It's a range 3. On a critical hit with this weapon, you gain +4 movement for the turn. I think I'd like to have that. And since I know there's 2 items, we're just going to roll for it instead. So what is the penalty for this? -1 movement in Moxie for the fight. She's getting +1 Moxie already, so at least that balances out a little bit. There we go. So she's back down to her starting 2. So on a D10, we'll say 1 to 5, 6 to 10. Because I want this one. So we want to see a 6 or higher. Nope. Fair enough. We get the peddler's cart key. And we're in the towns phase, so she's going to do it right now. Discard during the town phase. Draw the top 3 cards from the peddler deck and keep 1. Oh, I thought it said keep all 3. Well, 1, invisibility cloak. 2, sharpened feather, cost 0 Moxie, pretty good. And safety blanket. If Townsfolk is within 3 of you, you can immediately, it takes damage, you can move. I know the sharpened feather is very good for Henlo because of her accuracy debuff. It's 0 Moxie to do. You need a 2+. For Henlo it would be a 3+, but still. And it does the same damage as her sickle. So she'll equip this and get rid of the sickle. Then I'll think about what we're actually buying from the shop. Alright, we're officially in the shop phase. Quintus gets to steal something worth 5 or less. He's gonna steal the cloth wrappings. You can discard them to take 1 less damage from an attack. He needs chest armor, so why not? Simple enough. And then, he's also the first person in buying order actually. He'll spend his 5. Oh wait, but everything costs him 2 more. Ah. That's a problem. No, he can't then. I was trying to make him sure he had 0 coins so he could achieve that feat, but no, because he's getting that penalty from the event, he can't. Ah. Oh well. Henlo's turn. Simple. Has 10 coins left after that event, spending them all on baseball cap. +1 accuracy, so that puts her at a flat 0. When you land a critical hit, which she's been doing well at so far, deal +1 damage and push the ruffian back 4 squares. So we'll equip that. Goes to flat 0. Hopefully offsets the debuff she's taken to her stats for no real reason now. And Blopsy, let's see. I think I've given them +1 coin. Oh wait, no, I forgot they won the event, didn't they? So they have what, 4, 5, they've got 11. What could they do with 11? They could buy shin guards. If the ruffian deals damage to you from 2+ squares away, they take damage back. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, I think I'll do that actually. Buy the shin guards for the Blopsy twins, they get 1 each. So +1 Moxie, and then if the ruffian hits them from far away, it does damage to them. Pretty decent. Costs them 11, it's not an instrument. Puts their Moxie at 4, which is decent enough. Costs them, let's see how much have they got, 3, 4, 5, it'll cost them everything. Alright, they are skint, which means that Quintus is not going to be the poorest person at the end of the town phase. Let's see who we're fighting. So as we draw the next ruffian, or turn it over rather, one bit of thing I'm going to change. Quintus is going to unequip his stolen candy and equip the exploding cigar. So he's going to have +1 Moxie. That means the candy will be there to fall back on in a later fight if we need it. And he could explode it at some point if he's forced to discard gear and do massive damage to the ruffian, which would be pretty good. Puts him at Moxie 3 as well, which is good for him because he's a low Moxie character as well. Anyway, who's next? Who's our hooligan? Deputy Wagums. Oh no, it's the poor dumb dog with the guns attached to him that do mean things and he doesn't understand because he's stupid. There he is. There he is, poor Deputy Wagums. He means no harm, but the guns equipped to him certainly do. So we're going to unfortunately have to take him behind the shed. There he is, Deputy Wagums. So as a troublemaker, a hooligan, if Wagums ends an action inside a terrain piece, all townsfolk within 2 of that terrain piece take 1 damage because he's flinging soil everywhere. Okay, I'll try and remember. He only has 14 HP though, so it's not too bad. Which probably means we've got to nuke him down pretty fast. 6 movement. We'll be back with that fight set up in a minute. So unfortunately, as adorable as this dog that's too stupid to live is, the evil guns on his sides means that we have to take him out. That said, he could utterly destroy us, who knows. Drawing his first card. He starts the round with a ricochet shot. Wagum's revolvers are shooting everything in sight. Target the closest townsfolk outside a terrain piece. That would be 2, 3, 4. That would be the Blopsy twins. Ranged attack. If the target's within 7, yep, they take 1 damage and then he goes after the furthest townsfolk, which would be Henlo. So he'd end up there. Blopsy twins take 1 damage. There goes their bonus HP for the match. After effect. All townsfolk within 4 of the target are hit with a ricocheting bullet for 1 damage. That's everyone. Well, let's see, what can we do about that? Quintus is going to get rid of the cloth wrapping immediately to get rid of that damage. I don't want to take that much damage early. I don't think Henlo can do anything about it though. No, but she's got a potion that can heal her though if she deals damage, so that's not so bad. That's a rough start if you pardon the pun. So, it's over to the Blopsy twins. Now if I do 2 damage, it triggers a breakpoint, which is a problem because we fought Deputy Wagums. We actually did his finale in an online match we played. He loves either attacking people in terrain or out of terrain, but ideally I want to stay out of terrain because of that hooligan rule. Anyway, we'll shove him. Look away, children. That's an 8, that's enough. That is 1 damage. And then the Blopsy twins will move behind Henlo, right there. And it is over to Henlo. Unfortunately, she can't heal and attack at the same turn because of her Moxie limits. Even with the... Oh, I was totally forgetting. No, I was gonna say I forgot her +1 from the Abundance Cloak. No, I'm not. She got a debuff from that shop event. So it balanced out that she's back to normal. She'll use Impy's Potion, I think. We'll use that immediately. Consume it, so when she does damage this turn, she restores that much HP. She only needs a 3+. No, sorry, she needs a 2+ because she balanced out her accuracy. So as long as it wasn't a 1, she's good. So that means she heals 1 damage, she deals 1 damage to Wagums, and that does trigger his first breakout point. So, interrupt before Quintus gets a turn. Play fetch. Wagums grabs your gear and goes for a run. Target the closest townsfolk outside of a terrain piece, that's Henlo. Move towards the target. If he reaches them, deal 1 damage. She is taking 1 damage. Good job, I healed her, I guess. After effect, Wagums runs off with your wares. Target unequips a piece of gear of their choice. It cannot be equipped for the rest of the fight. What's Henlo's most useless bit of gear? The farmer's overalls. She isn't going to need them. They don't give her any stat increase. So I'll just turn them over because they can't be equipped for the fight. But they will come back. They're not destroyed forever. Oof. Yeah, that's the other thing. He loves stealing gear. Over to Quintus then. Let's see here. Do we chuck the rubble at the dog? Does it count as using it? Hang on, let me read this here. Like, do I need Moxie to do it? No, I don't. As long as he's, it doesn't even say a range limit, actually. Okay, we're going to discard the Founder's Rubble. Although, if I keep it, that means he can attack twice. You know, no, I've changed my mind. Because he can attack twice since he's using 2-1 Moxie weapons, I don't think that's a good idea. The dog could try and steal his equipment. We can pick the cigar, do 3 damage that way. So, Quintus will walk over here. And he will strike with the rubber bat on a 4+, because he's got +1 bonus now. That rolled off camera, but it was a 5. That looked like I was holding up a 4, but I assure you it was a 5. Putting Ruffian health to 11. And then he's going to hit with the rubble, which is a 5+, and with that he missed. Fair enough. Now let's zoom out a little bit. Deputy Wagums. Puppy eyes, oh no. Target the closest townsfolk, so I'll get to choose. Attempt to move completely into the vegetable patch. The target begins to feel uncomfortable beating down this poor misguided mutt. They must choose one of these things. Either take pity or feel remorse. Take pity is unequip a weapon of your choice. It can't be equipped again for the fight. Or feel remorse. Keep this in front of you. Whenever you deal damage, lower your accuracy by 1 or unequip a weapon of your choice. This is terrible. Well, unfortunately, I really wish I'd thrown the Founder's Rubble now. We'll have to make Quintus move then. So, closest townsfolk, move completely into the vegetable patch. He can make it easily because he's got tons of movement. And then... yeah, so it's unequipped for the entire fight. Well, that's fine. The rubble is gone for the fight. That's okay. So we're back round to the Blopsy twins. They're going to stab. We'll just move around here for 2. Right there. And stab, stab, stab. That's another 2. That's not good enough. They miss. And I don't think I can do anything about that. Nope. So straight over to Henlo. Oh, hang on. Did Henlo do damage? She did. It should have been 2 damage because the Blopsy twins were next to her, right? So I'm going to lower the Ruffian health by 1 more. And she's going to attack right now. 2+. Thank goodness. Again, Blopsy twins are right there, so that's 2 more health. They're so good for buffing. They don't get affected by it themselves. It's only teammates near them, but still, really good. And then Henlo has 4 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4. She's not going to end adjacent in case that roll kicks in, but she's going to end closer to the vegetable patch, because if she ends her turn in there, you get to heal. Oh, I wonder if that applies to Quintus. I think because it wasn't his turn, it doesn't. If I stay in there, though, it will. So for Quintus, 1 more hit will get a breakaway point. He's only got the rubber bat, so move 1, smack dog. 4 is not good enough. He missed. Yeah, he missed. Can't do anything. Back round to Deputy Wagums. Oh, he ended his turn in there, but I think it says choose. Once per fight, each townsfolk may end their turn inside the vegetable patch and restore. Oh, no, he's used it up. So you can't heal on that anymore. Gallivant. Wagums frolics across the landscape without a care in the world. Turn towards the closest townsfolk and move forwards. Again, it's even, and I believe the Blopsy twins want that to happen. Hang on. Yeah, bullied. Okay, we'll do this. They'll walk towards them. Any townsfolk he collides with takes 1 damage. If he ends his movement inside a terrain piece, nope. So he's going to walk and shove the Blopsy twins this way, actually. Let's do that. So Deputy Wagham's just kind of walked away. He should technically still be facing this way. But there we go. So they're going to take 1 damage from that, but that's going to trigger their feat of metal, called Bullied. And he's going to bully right back and deal 1 damage, because that's all it's worth. The 2 coins aren't worth much. So we'll do 1 more damage, put Wagham's down to 7. That unfortunately triggers a break point. So I think I just draw another card. The perfect shot. That doesn't sound good. Closest townsfolk outside a terrain piece. That's the Blopsy twins. Move towards them, then trigger the after effect. He's moved towards them. Wagham's plops down and stares at the target. He's surprisingly still. At the start of the next ruffian action, if the target is not more than 5 squares away, they get shot for 2 damage. Oh no, he's lining up a sniper shot. I'll leave that there so I remember. So the Blopsy twins need to run a mile. It's their turn as well, actually, so let's just... I have to get 5 squares away and they can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be... They have to be 5 plus or 5. If the target is not more than 5. Okay, so he needs to be 6 away, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can't do it. Actually, there is a way to do it. There is a way. Quintus can change places with any character for 2 Moxie. It's the way he's going to have to do it. Okay, well, that's a problem. Because the most he can get exactly 5, and you have to be more than 5, so... He'll attack with the Shiv. That's a 7. So 1 damage. And then if he's swapping places with Quintus, he doesn't need to move much. He'll move down 1, because Henlo goes first. She'll move down 1, so she's getting the damage bonus. Again, it's awkward because the thing in her ear. 2 plus. Yep, so that's 2 damage. Oh, that triggers a reaction though. I think the Blopsy twins are just about to get shot. Yeah, what does it say? At the start of the next action. I guess this is a reaction, but you know what? Once per turn or once per fight, they can use their washboard to ignore all damage received. We'll do that to take the 2 damage to the chest, but we will draw another card though. Spinning revolvers. All townsfolk within 6. That's everybody. Divide 2 damage between all targets, then move him completely into the closest terrain feature. So that would be there. So now that he's in a terrain feature, all townsfolk within 2 take an additional damage. So I'll do that in a second. If there's 4 plus people, trigger the after effect. No, there is not. So 2 damage split amongst everybody. And Quintus is going to take 1 more. Henlo will take 1, putting her on 1 health of the 2 damage you have to split. And Quintus will take the other 1, so he's actually going down by 2. I think we might be able to kill him this turn if we get really lucky. If not, someone's going to die. But that's okay. Speaking of things though, I think Henlo scored Dodge the Bullet. If you're involved in a tie for targeting and are not chosen, achieve this feat. Yeah, just going to do that because it should have happened the turn before. She's going to deal 1 damage to the ruffian. Achieve that, so that's 1 each for her and the Blopsy twins. She can't achieve the other 2 though. Quintus definitely isn't doing that one. No, I don't think he's achieving any. Alright, anyway, we just need to do damage with everybody and the doggo will get sent up north. So, Blopsy twins, 5 plus. Okay, never mind, we're going to have to live another turn. 1, 2, yeah, they'll stay there. Henlo will activate, walks over here, attacks with the feather, 2 plus, gets a crit. So hang on, isn't there something that procs on a crit as well? First of all, that's 2 damage, leaving the doggo on 1. Let's see what the crit does before anything else. The +1 damage is from the Blopsy twins, just to be clear. A 2 is nothing much. You can see the next ruffian action. It's not going to matter really. So, didn't I have something that procced on a crit? Yes, the baseball cap. When you do a crit, deal +1 damage and move the ruffian 4. Henlo, you violent chicken you. Look away, children. The dog went to a happy farm upstate and willingly gave up his guns and died. So we have our 3 rewards to choose from, and Blopsy twins and Henlo both achieved 1 feat in that fight, so we'll roll off Blopsy twins. It's a 6, Henlo, it's a 2. So the Blopsy twins are getting one of these 3 things. Let's take this one. Oh no! We stole Deputy Wagham's tail! It's an accessory, 0 moxie, you may move the ruffian up to 2 squares. We'll put that in storage, or rather, I'm just going to do it now because it's on camera. We're giving that to Henlo to use because she doesn't have an accessory anymore. Speaking of which, their gear comes back that was stolen by the doggo. Everybody is getting 6 coins, and that takes us to the third town phase, which is where we will start the part 2 video of this, which you'll probably see in a day or 2. Thank you very much for watching. Look away from what happened to Deputy Wagham's. 2 more ruffians to take down, and then Eureka Springs is truly safe. Let's see how I dropped the cards. Let's see how that goes next time. Ta-ta for now.